And then how we do it, as I said, first we have to experience it before we share it. So we start with the top person, as the teacher or the principal, or in our office, it's the main boss or the decision maker, the manager. And then we have a 21-day program where all we're doing is we just being mindful of our brain, body, and the heart throughout the day on several intervals, and trying to see if we, whatever we're doing throughout the day, are we having all these three in unison at that time? And using some of the techniques, some of the, we can bring that back to the thing that we're doing. So this is how we do these techniques, and this can be integrated in the classroom also. While in the middle of the classroom, we just take a mindful pay, or a smiles break. Actually, I don't call it break, because break is a negative word. I'm a person of positive psychology. So I call it the mindful pause. And then at that time, what we do is we just come back to what we're doing. And I'll teach you how we can do that when we talk about one-on-one. But this is the how of this. We teach these techniques to the person who's supposed to deliver it to the next person, whether it's children. And then the children would automatically start practicing it after looking at this person. If he or she has brought this into his life, then of course it becomes evident, and it becomes very easy for that person to do uh, the daily routine for say 12 hours. You get up in the morning at sometime, and whatever 12 to 14 hours you're awake, there's the opening of the day, there's a closing of the day, and throughout the day you're doing some synthesis or pause, being mindful of what you're doing, whether the three things are in unison or not. Same thing in the classroom. We have a beginning of the session, we have an end of the session, and in between we just make sure that everybody is into the session. It's as simple as
Yeah,
that.
that's great, because if you, for example, in the beginning of the class, teach that to your kids and create the awareness, oh, we're doing that and we're doing that every time, then you can bring it more as a practice into everyday life, where when you then in a maybe, or as a child in a situation where you're like, I don't know, in a fight with your friend, they could remember, oh, didn't my teacher teach me this thing? Maybe I could try it right now. Yeah, I really like that.
Exactly. So first we practice this on purpose, how to come up situations which are not in our control, or we are not liking it, or maybe something bad happened. We talk about three things in the class that usually happen. One is, some children are usually afraid of getting up and asking question, afraid of doing anything because they're kind of shy, or they're kind of having some kind of a complex. So that's one kind of children. And then there's another kind of children who are ashamed of, because all the time they have been told that you're bad or you're not good at it. So they are ashamed of it, of asking anything or participating in the classroom. And the third kind of children are, who are usually apathetic. They have no interest. It doesn't matter. They're just there because for them it's just a liability. So these three groups of children, and of course there are all the ones who are really interested, but usually the people who are motivated and passionate about education in the classroom are very few. So the children, the teacher has a lot of responsibility. So what we do is, for all these situations, how we can come out of being ashamed of, how can we come out of being afraid of, or being apathetic, how we can work out some small things that we get back into the passion, get back into doing everything by heart.
Yeah, no, that's very beautifully said. Yeah, I really, really like that. Perfect.